Well, hello, YouTubers. It's I, Big D. It's about 7 a.m. in the morning here. Getting ready to do a load. Arkansas to Louisville. We talk about steps to be successful out here. But one thing we don't also really go into is what happens when you do one of those steps, doesn't work. And here's the example of that. We talk about relocating. So Saturday, I ended up in a miserable location. Well, actually, it was Friday night. A miserable location in Louisiana. Going north would put me around a bunch of our vans. Well, that's not good. But if I drive another 180 miles instead of 400 miles to relocate, 580, I can go down by Laredo. And we've been doing very well down there in the last couple weeks and getting a pretty good rate. So it seemed like a good bet. So, talked it over with dispatch, which is very important when you're doing a relocate, is talk to your dispatchers. You know, you need to get an idea what's going on. I discussed it with Alan, and based on the information we had, this seemed like a good move because you're going to get miles coming out of there. And the weekend isn't always that great, especially where I was going to be at, and I wouldn't have been getting anything anyway, moving up north where all the other vans were. So I deadheaded 580 miles down the southern part of Texas, down there by Laredo, and sat Sunday. I drove down on Saturday, so I was there Saturday evening, but Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, nothing. It seems the rates had collapsed. Getting out was, difficult, if not impossible, unless we get cheap, and we don't do that. So then I have to drive about 865 miles north to go to where I was going to go to. That was basically full of vans that had all cleared out. I didn't take the sure bet. I gambled. So in all, I basically drove 1,450 miles to Deadhead. That cost me about $150. The $150 isn't really the issue. Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, 5 days. Today is my first load in 5 days. It's about 650 miles. You have to be prepared to accept the decisions you make. They're not always going to be right. The information was great. No one expected this week the freight to go south, which is what it's done. It's not only there, it's pretty much all over. You don't see a lot of posting on the group page about, going here, there, and everywhere because it's slow. It's slowed down. And you're in an area that you don't want to be where it's slow with a bunch of vans packed in. So it was a blunder. It was a screw up. It was based on good information, but it didn't work out. And that's the point of the video. It doesn't always work out. Even experienced expediters are going to make moves, and you're going to go and you're going to put in some miles going to an area you think are good and find out, nope, it's not. Freight out here changes just that quick, week to week. Now, will I make that gamble again? Not anytime soon. Will I go that deep into miles? But at the time I did it, it seemed logical. I mean, I'm getting 15, maybe 1,700 miles out of there. This is looking good. I had a pretty good week going. This was going to make it phenomenal. Well, after this load gets done today, it's going to make the week average. I took the gamble. I lost. And you got to be prepared out here to lose when these things happen. Not the dispatch's fault. Not anybody's fault I talked to. We all were on the same page. It just didn't work. And that's expediting. No matter what you do out here, sometimes it just doesn't work. And you got to be ready to accept that. So this video is about, the things you need to do to be successful out here. You're going to have to relocate to the freight. You're going to have to invest money to move from point A to B to get to a better spot. But it doesn't always pay off. And when it doesn't, it doesn't. You don't hear people talk about the blunders they make. On my channel, I'm going to talk about the good things that worked. And I'm going to tell you about the times when it doesn't work, like now. It was a total blunder. But my last week was phenomenal. So it was a reasonable bet. I lost. Just that simple. And you will too out here. There is no sure path to success. There are steps you can take to hedge your bet. And successful expediters will take those gambles. If you don't go in big, you don't win big. But that doesn't mean you continually do it if it didn't pay off. And that doesn't mean you don't relocate. It's just you don't relocate where you may have to gamble 1,450 miles in 5 days. So that's my video for today. When you make a decision, you own it, and it doesn't always pay off. So when it happens, don't beat yourself up and say, oh, geez, how stupid was I, because you based it on the best information you had at the time. That doesn't mean it's going to always work out for you. Like and subscribe, share the videos, get the people who are on my other site over to this site so you too can learn how to be a better expediter. This is Big D signing off.